Hey everybody, so I'm actually having a pretty good day today. I did some recording, so that kind of eased my mind. And this little puppy of mine won't leave me alone because it's cold and she's hairless. And apparently she uh, needs lots of heat in order to keep her from freezing her buns off. So say hi, little. Hello, my name is Little. Um, so I'm gonna do today's vlog on proper animal maintenance because it's very, very important, especially if you have a service dog like little Lola Iola Peabody here. Here, let me put this over here. I think I'm catching a cold actually. Um, it is very, very important that you feed them properly. Most people out there go to the grocery store and buy their food for their dog, and they find whatever's cheapest and feed their dog whatever they can feed them for $12, $13 for a gigantic bag. The problem is that at the end of the month, you're actually spending more on dog food when you buy food that way because all the fillers that are in most of those $12 or $13 bags of dog food. They use mainly corn and byproducts, and what happens is that corn has no nutritional value to it whatsoever, so your dog eats it. Same thing with cats. They eat it and eat it and eat it and eat it, eat it and eat it, and then they go to the bathroom and everything that they took in is out. No nutrients. So their body's hungry again. So what do? You feed them a little bit more. Or you don't feed them, and you feed them twice a day like you're supposed to, and your dog ends up being hyperactive and you don't understand why it's being like that. That's because it's starving itself because it needs the nutrients that it's not getting by eating that $13 bag of dog food. Um, so what you do is you go to Petco, and actually Safeway now is carrying a product by Dogswell that is a grain-free food that uses chickpeas instead of potatoes, and it's all high protein, high nutrients for your dog. But what I get is I kind of switch between Blue Buffalo's Wilderness grain-free blend and the Merrick's BG dog food, which is another grain-free as well. BG stands for before grain. And my dogs really, really like it. Jake is a picky little eater, though, so he tends to to eat. Uh, he likes to eat the Blue Buffalo more than the BG, but he likes them. He likes them both. I usually have to put something on top of the BG to get him to really eat it, though. Otherwise, he leaves it. Little will eat anything because she's a food hound, food monger, I should say. um, but what this does is a couple of things. A, your dog is not as hungry throughout the day. They B, don't go to the bathroom as often because they're retaining more of the nutrients that are inside the food and not releasing the waste that comes when you have a bunch of fillers in your food. 3, C, what it does as well is your dog is healthier, so it's not going to have to go to the vet as often for common problems of malnutrition and things that happen, allergies, food allergies that happen when dogs are eating a lot of corn and wheat and byproducts and things like that. So you'll find that you'll save a lot of money in the long run. They'll eat less of the grain-free food. So one bag that might cost you $50 ends up lasting for 1 month, possibly even 2 months, depending on how many dogs you have. If you have just one, it'll last you 2 months. Whereas that same size bag, you would have to buy about 3 bags of those within the month to feed a large-sized dog if you were feeding them one of the more popular brands that has wheat, corn, and byproducts. So it's really important to know that that's one of the first things that you should make sure that you do when taking care of your pets, because we wouldn't go out and eat junk food every single day, go out and eat fast food all the time. It would be bad for us. And most of the stuff that's in fast food is just fillers that make us feel full for a minute and stuff. It's the same thing with dog food. The most of the cheaper dog foods are like giving your dog fast food every day, and it's not as good for them. The other very, very, very important thing to me, especially, I'm very passionate about this, is spaying and neutering. You know, you don't need a little version of your dog running around out there. There are tons of dogs. Hold on. I have a phone call. Let's see who it is. It's Sandra. Hello, honey. I'm doing a vlog. I'm doing a vlog right now, and you're on it. Yeah, no, no band practice. I'm just doing a vlog. Would you like to say hi to all the vloggies?
Hello, vloggies or vlog viewers. Okay, I'll see you within a half an hour.
Okay, I love you.
I love you too.
Bye. Anyway, back to it. Spaying and neutering. Very, very important. Because first of all, it lowers your dog's risks of different kinds of cancers that come when they are not spayed or neutered. Obviously, testicular cancer in males, and any kinds of cancers in female dogs. Especially if you spay them before their first heat or before their second heat. You'll lower your female dog's risk of breast cancer, which is very important to know. Also, it's very important because there are so many dogs in the shelters right now that are on what we call the red list. They're on the death watch, and rescuing a pet instead of letting your dog have puppies is a better idea, because there are so many dogs out there that will be put to death if you don't adopt them. Well, what's going to happen if you let your dog have puppies? You're going to have those puppies, and those puppies are going to go to homes that could easily adopt a pet and save 6 different lives if your dog has 6 puppies, right? Those people could easily go out and adopt 6 puppies from a shelter or from a rescue and save lives, versus you creating lives that might end up being too much for that person that buys that dog from you to handle, and then they will put that dog in a shelter or a rescue. And if they're in a shelter, they run the risk of being on the red list and getting killed just because they couldn't find a home for it. The other thing too is a lot of these pet stores have puppies in them, and they have breeders listed on the puppies, but those breeder names are actually the names of what we would call puppy mills. They're not reputable breeders. They're farms that have breeder dogs that will breed and breed and breed and breed and breed until the dog is just overbred and sick from all the breeding, and they don't take care of their dogs. And a lot of the puppies will come out with physical deformities or some sort of a mental disorder, because they're inbred a lot of times. Prime example, there was a person who decided that they wanted to breed Harlequin Dachshunds because the Harlequin Dachshunds were very popular. And what happened was they decided they got a male Harlequin and a female Harlequin, and they decided to let them do the deed. And all these puppies came out, and they were blind or missing eyeballs. because you can't breed two Harlequin dachshunds together or they will come out with eye deformities. And they didn't know that, and they decided they wanted to breed simply because they wanted to make money off of these dogs that are living, breathing creatures. And they decided that when the dogs were blind and missing eyeballs, they were going to drown them to kill them because they didn't think that they should be able to live. Well, at that point, they're already alive. Why are you going to drown them and put them through a horrible death? So they a rescue ended up finding them and rescuing them before they could get killed by these puppy mills that use this practice when they come out with deformities. And so all these dogs are blind, missing eyeballs because somebody didn't know what they were doing with breeding. Same thing with hairless dogs. You can't breed two hairless dogs together, or they'll come out with deformities. Um, it's it's really important to know the things that are going on out there. If you want a puppy really bad, all you have to do is go to a rescue. Even if you need a service dog, Lola is a rescue, and she's been perfectly fine and capable of learning all the things that she needs to know to take care of me in public places. And a lot of the places that are training dogs for service are actually getting rescue dogs to train them. So a rescue dog is not necessarily going to be a bad thing. Um, Also, you can find purebred rescues. So if you decide you want a teacup Yorkie or you want a little tiny Chihuahua, there are plenty of people out there that couldn't handle theirs, and they gave them to a shelter, and the shelter went and rescued the dog from the shelter so that it wouldn't get killed. Um, you can look it up on petfinder.com, and you can look them up by breed. So if you are looking for a specific breed, like with Jake, he's a Basenji mix. I was looking for a Basenji at the time, and I found Brat Basenji Rescue and Transport, and they asked me if I would be interested in a mix, and I was. And he looks like a full Basenji. He just is a lot bigger than a normal sized Basenji. He's over there sleeping, snoring up a storm. But if it wasn't for rescues that go out and find these dogs just like Jake and little Lola would be put to death simply because they couldn't find homes for them, because people want to get a puppy from a breeder because they think it's better that it comes from a breeder, instead of realizing that a dog is a dog and they are perfectly capable of being just as loving and just as cool and just as fun to have around the house. So please rescue, spay, neuter, feed your pets properly, make sure that they get their vaccinations. Don't bring them to the dog park if they're not spayed or neutered, because you don't want them to accidentally get knocked up and have a bunch of puppies that cause other dogs to get killed in the shelters. So please listen, heed my advice, and help do your part. Also, make sure that you pick up your dog's poop, because there's nothing I hate worse than when I take the dogs out for their walk and I accidentally step in poop. Okay, I've stepped in way too many piles of poop around my complex to not stress the point that people need to pick up their dog's poop. If you don't pick it up, it's going to get into the sewer water, the gutters, and it's going to go into our drinking water eventually, and we're going to be drinking poop. And who wants to drink poop? Nobody wants to drink poop. So make sure you pick up your dog's poop and do your part to keep our space clean and all the people around us happy, because especially if you live in a apartment complex, there's other people that live there, not just you. So you need to pick up your dog's poop. Simple as that. Okay. Bye, everybody.